I get a lot of from a lot of men, which is, dude, when men get divorced, they are just ruined completely. I mean, life is over for them. And I say, for some, it's really rough. Don't get me wrong. There's some men out there that they lose three-fourths of their wealth and they're, living out of their truck and
Yeah.
everything. Those are horror stories, and we've heard those, and those they never see their kids. But from the vast majority of men that I speak to, and I know this is anecdotal, it's not a sample size of thousands of men, but the stats seem to back it up. Men tend to do better financially long term than women do after divorce. And
I've
re-
read the same thing.
and relationship wise, you're right. They tend to remarry way faster. But here's the interesting little, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this. And I did a video on this. There was a study that was done by, it was a governmental study. They were trying to measure happiness amongst people. And they said, all right, you're a single man. How happy are you? You're a married man. How happy are you? You're a single man with kids. You're a married man with kids. And a single woman, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then they look at the data and they say, who's the happiest? Self-reported, I'm the happiest. And the happiest group was single women with no kids. Those were the happiest people. And that made a lot of your traditional conservative types said, time out. No, this can't be. Like, if word gets out about this, nobody's going to have babies. And I really wasn't surprised to hear that, simply because I talked to a lot of men and women. I'm getting more and more messages from women who basically say, after marriage and kids, something flipped in me, and I am just not a happy creature anymore. And this is really anxiety producing. I have trouble with anxiety. I have trouble with stress and depression. And this sent it into overdrive. And I feel very, very guilty for saying so. But consequently, our marriage is disintegrated. And what a lot of these women say, marriage is disintegrated. I'm out on my own. I see the kids half the time. Phew, I actually feel better. I feel guilty for feeling better, but I feel better. And I don't think I want to go back to the marriage thing. No, thank you. I think that represents a big chunk of that population. I don't know. What do you think? Does that surprise you to hear that?
It really doesn't surprise me because I, it's so interesting. I would love to know like how exactly the quote unquote like happiness is measured, but I mean, I think so much of it has to do with the societal pressures that are put on mothers in particular, as opposed to fathers. I think that there is a lot more expected of the mother. Like when a woman has a child, I think that so much pressure is put on her, so much pressure by men and women, herself, generations to say, okay, this is your identity now. You can no longer like smoke, drink, have too much time on your hobbies, spend too much time with your friends, take vacations, or else you're a bad mother. But I think that there is a lot less, at least for married fathers, pressure. I think that if a married father continues to smoke, continues to drink, continues to go out and play golf or see his friends, I think that there's a lot less judgment and criticism. Now, when you take a single father, that's a completely different thing because that man is being judged for literally every sentence that comes out of his mouth.